class 12 students, and welcome back to another ratio analysis class. Today in ratio analysis, my topic will be net profit ratio, how to solve sums given on net profit ratio. Now net profit ratio is another type of profitability ratio. Previously in the classes I have explained you gross profit ratio. Now in today's class I am going to explain to you net profit ratio through two sums. Back to back I will show you two illustration of net profit ratio. So follow the class carefully. See, here I have given to you one sum of net profit ratio. Through this sum you have to solve the net profit ratio. Here GP is given. See the items carefully one by one. The gross profit is given rupees 2 lakh. The administrative expense is also given rupees 22,000. Selling and distribution expense is given 35,000. Sales of the company is 9 lakh. Sales returns of the company is 1,50,000. Wages 24,000. Loss 18,000. And interest received is 25,000. These are the items which is given in this sum. Many more indirect expenses can be given through a sum of net profit ratio. When you will be asked to find out net profit ratio in some other sum, many indirect expenses may also be included in the sum. But the process will be same, and the formula of net profit ratio is net profit divided by sales, that is net sales, into 100. This is the formula of net profit ratio. But before that, you have to find out the net profit from this given sum. This sum is given, but net profit is not given to you. You have to find out, you are required to find out the net profit by solving this sum. Gross profit is given and different type of expenses are given. You have to sort out which one are the indirect expenses. Those indirect expenses you have to deduct from, those indirect expenses you have to deduct from the gross profit and find out what the net profit is. Remember, in the previous classes, in class 11, we have learned how to find out net profit in final account. In final account, we used to do PL account, profit and loss account. Through that profit and loss account, we used to find out what the net profit of a firm is. So here also, we will prepare a short PL account and arrange the items and find out the net profit, just the way we used to do in class 11. So first we will take in net profit in a PL account. You can draw a PL account also, or you can do a short workings also. In PL account we used to take gross profit. Gross profit is 2 lakh. And we used to take all the incomes added with the gross profit. What are the incomes given in this sum? There is only one income given in this sum, that is interest received. Interest received rupees 25,000. This will be added with the gross profit. So gross profit is 2 lakh and interest received is rupees 25,000. So gross profit and interest received is the income over here. Whereas the expenses we will take the indirect expenses, not the direct expenses. Now wages given over here in the sum is a direct expense. This is only given to confuse you. We will not consider any kind of direct expenses like carriage inward, wages. These type of items we used to include when we used to find out the gross profit. So wages we will not consider, or any other type of direct expenses we will not consider while calculating the net profit. We will only consider the indirect expenses. Now indirect expenses are administrative expenses, selling expenses and loss incurred. So indirect expenses means administrative expenses, that is 22,000. Then selling expenses, which is 35,000, side the total is coming 2,25,000. 2,25,000 is coming as a total. 2,25,000 is coming as the income, as the total income. Now from that we will deduct all the indirect expenses, that is 22,000, 35,000 and the loss 18,000. Now 22,000 and 18,000 gives you 40,000 and 35,000 makes 75,000. If you deduct 75,000 total indirect expenses from 2,25,000, if we deduct this total 75,000, the total of the indirect expenses from this 2,25,000, we are getting 1,50,000 as NP, net profit. The net profit is 1,50,000 that we are getting from this calculation. 1,50,000 is coming as a net profit amount. This 1,50,000 we will write in the net profit section in the formula. And sales what will we write? We will write the net sales. Now sales was rupees 9 lakh. From that we will deduct 1,50,000. 9 lakh minus 1,50,000 into 100. Due to shortage of space I am writing LK, that is the abbreviation of lakh. Now 1,50,000 by 7,50,000 into 100. So this is coming by cancellation. 15 5s are 75 and 5 20 is 100. So 20% is the NP ratio. So this is the answer. 20%, you can see I have calculated, and 20% is the answer that is coming, that is the net profit ratio, by solving the sum. In this way we will solve the sum of the net profit ratio and find out how and what will be the net profit ratio by deducting all the indirect expenses from the total income, that is gross profit and interest received in this sum. Many other income can be there. From this we will deduct the indirect expenses to get the net profit, and thus we will calculate it, divide it with the sales, the net sales, and multiply it with 100 to get the percentage. In this way we will find the net profit ratio. I will show you another sum of net profit ratio that is also very important. Always you may not get this type of sums. You may get a different sum. That also I am going to show you in today's class. Just follow the class carefully. After following the class, don't forget to download the PDF provided with this class. In this PDF, I have solved the sum of GP ratio and NP ratio for you. Download the PDF. That PDF will be very helpful for you to solve the sums and do the homeworks from the Basu and Datta book. From the Basu and Datta book, there are many sums of profitability ratio. Solve those sums with the help of these classes and the PDF provided to you. Now, let's move on to sum number 2. In sum number 2, it is given that credit sales of the company is 30%. So, credit sales 30%, which is 30%, which is equal to rupees 3 lakh. And gross profit is given, GP is given 28% of sales. 28% of sales. And indirect expense is given to you. Indirect expense is given to you. That is rupees 80,000. Rupees 80,000. You have to find out the net profit ratio. You have to find out the net profit ratio with the help of this sum. See, no other information is given to you in this sum. You are provided with these three information, and utilizing these three information you have to find out the NP ratio. This is not like the previous sum. Unlike the previous sum, this is a different sum. So you have to solve the sum in a different way. See, credit sales is given to you 30%, which is 3 lakh. From this, you have to find out the total sales. Credit sales is given 30% of total sales. Let total sales let total sales be X. Therefore, 30% of total sales, that is 30% of X. 30% of X is 3 lakh. Then what is total sales or what is X? That is 3 lakh divided by 30%, which means total sales is 3 lakh into 100 by 30. By doing the calculation, you are going to get 10 lakh. 10 lakh you are going to get as a total sales. This is required. The total sales is required. Now, why it is required? Because now you have to utilize this GP, which is 28% of total sales. GP is given 28% of total sales, that is 10 lakh, which means rupees 2,80,000. 2,80,000. 28% of total sales. 28% of total sales. Total sales is given. Total sales is not given. We have found out that total sales is coming rupees 10 lakh. It is coming rupees 10 lakh. Now GP is given in the sum 28% of total sales. Now 28% of this 10 lakh is coming 2,80,000. So GP we have found out. From this GP we will deduct 80,000. Now we will utilize this indirect expenses, that is 80,000. How we will use it? How we will use it? I am rubbing this portion of the sum. We will utilize now this part of the sum, that is total indirect expenses is given 80,000 and GP we have found out 2,80,000. So NP will be GP minus indirect expenses, that is 2,80,000. 2,80,000 minus 80,000. So 2 lakh we are getting as 2 lakh we are getting as the NP. And if once we have found out the NP, it is very easy to find out the NP ratio. The NP ratio will be, the formula is NP ratio is equal to net profit by sales into 100. This is the formula as I have told you in the previous sum. So NP is 2 lakh divided by 10 lakh into 100. 2 lakh divided by 10 lakh into 100 is the, I am rubbing the sum, 2 lakh divided by 10 lakh into 100. That is again 5 and 5, 20. So 20% is coming as NP ratio. NP ratio. This is how we will solve the sums of NP ratio. Two types of sums I have shown you in this class. With the help of these two sums, you can practice the sums given in the book of NP ratio. I think these two sums are enough, more than enough for you to solve the rest of the sums given in the Basu and Datta book, the profitability ratio section. Download the PDF where I will provide you more sums on this NP ratio. So I hope whatever I have explained today of the NP ratio you have understood. So till then, thanking you. Goodbye.